All right, we got a Duke 390 for full service. This is a good one because, as you can see, I just did the tires, but I wanted to show you. Customer came in and said, hey, it hasn't been serviced for a long time. Take a look at that. That dry rot is insane. So you can ride on that. It's not a good idea because when it's dry rotted like that, they don't last, especially if you're going at speed. Not a good idea. So, oh man, I forgot. Check this out. That's like some of you guys saggy balls. Is that okay to say? I'm not sure, but I'll keep it in there just for you guys. All right, so full service, let's talk about it. What does it include from us? The price, $295, and then of course for us it's oil change, front and rear brake bleed, and then we do chain adjust and lube and clean to make sure everything's good there. We do, just like this one, put it on stand, check for any leaks and let you know. Leaks are, obviously the leaks are not part of the covered of the thing, but the service of letting you know is. Now, one of the big things is the radiator. People always ask, is that included? It is not, but for something that is open where I don't have to do any extra time in there, we do a dip test to see the color of the coolant. If it's a little brownish, then probably tell you, hey, you probably need to replace this, but you do need to know which coolant is in there because you could have orange coolant in there, and that's kind of difficult to tell if it's dirty or if it's not. But the blue and green, very easy to tell. And then of course the dip test is to see if it's low, and then we do check your reservoir bottle, which on the KTM I think is on, maybe on that side. Or it might be covered up. It might be back here somewhere, but we check your reservoir and make sure. If I need to put coolant in, just to top it off, I'm not going to charge you. That's, you know, you're a customer. That's part of customer service. Not a big deal. If I do need to do the flush, depending on which way you want to do it, then I'm like, okay, hey, this is what needs to be done. You get billed a little bit extra. And then other than that, we go through everything. Check the lights, check the turn signals, check, make sure your forks are leaking. Like I told you, we check for leaks. I do go ahead and check the battery. We check it while it's sitting here. Should have a little bit over 12 volts or at least 12 volts. And then we do check it while it's running. It should have 13.5 and above, just depending on what bike you have. So let's not be ridiculous with you guys that think you know everything, just depending on what bike you have. And then the only big thing is then checking all the major bolts and stuff like that. So we do go over like the ones that you're not going to check or don't think about, like the exhaust the exhaust bolts. And then of course a big one is the steering head bearing bolts and stuff like that, just to make sure that's all put together, and we just do a thorough walkthrough. So that's pretty much what we provide. And then just keep that in mind. If you feel like, hey, you need a full service, come over here, we get you taken care of.